It's a common desire to witness justice being served, but unfortunately, it's a rare occurrence in real life. The good news is that you don't have to wait for the universe to deliver justice, as I've already compiled some super satisfying stories for you. So sit back, relax, and enjoy some tales of karma giving bad people the punishment they deserve. Home Sweet Home Confinement. In 2017, a man named Lawrence Ripple robbed a bank in Kansas. After the bank teller handed over the cash, Lawrence waited calmly in the lobby for the police to arrive. When they did, he put up little resistance and was easily apprehended. It wasn't until the police interviewed Lawrence's wife that they discovered his motive for the crime. Apparently, Lawrence had revealed his plan to his wife, telling her that he would rather be in jail than stay at home with her. So the whole robbery was an attempt to get away from his wife. After being put through the court system, karma had caught up with Lawrence. His sentence was 6 months of house arrest, giving him plenty of time to make it up to his beloved wife. Double fly tipping. When a farmer in the UK grew tired of fly tippers dumping their trash on his land, he took to patrolling the vicinity at night to catch them in the act. He was successful and confronted a couple of white van men intruding on his property in April 2019. But wrestling one of them to the ground wasn't enough. The farmer had brought a friend along. That friend happened to be driving a digger and wasted no time ramming into the junk-laden van and tipping it over. As this farmer proved, the only way to deal with fly tippers is to tip them right back. A drink with a stink. In 2016, police in Laverton, Australia, received a call to investigate a crime scene. Upon arrival, they found that the culprits have already been punished. A tour bus driver noticed a fuel cap on the ground and assumed that someone had tried to siphon gas from his vehicle. However, upon closer inspection, he discovered that the fuel cap was still in place and the cap on the ground belonged to the bus's sewage tank. The thieves had mistaken the sewage cap for the fuel cap and ended up sucking waste instead of fuel. The evidence was clear on the ground, and the officers could see that the perpetrators had made a quick getaway after realizing their mistake. The police had no interest in recovering the stolen goods, as the thieves had suffered the consequences of their actions through their own stupidity. Karma had prevailed. Not on my land. When a Redditor moved into a new house, they disliked the fact that their kitchen window looked straight into their neighbor's kitchen. Seeking some privacy, they laid down a load of plants so the view would be obscured. It was costly, but it seemed worth it. The next day, they awoke to find that their neighbor had chopped down all of the plants, and when confronted, he claimed they'd been planted on his property line. Not wanting to cause trouble with the new neighbors, the Redditor stayed quiet and laid down some new plants, but closer to their own home this time. There was no way these could be on the neighbor's property line, but the neighbor cut them down again with the same claim. That was the last straw. The Redditor called a professional to assess the property line and found that not only was the neighbor in the wrong, his fence was massively encroaching on the Redditor's property. Long story short, the neighbor lost a quarter of his backyard and had to pay $10,000 for the destruction of property. This time, the plants stay planted. Cementing your fate. Some drivers believe that owning a sports car gives them the right to break the rules of the road, but this mindset is misguided. The laws of physics apply to everyone, regardless of how much money they have. This is particularly evident in the frequent instances of people who act arrogantly and break the rules, only to find themselves trapped in wet cement. These incidents are quite common and provide a satisfying feeling of justice being served. Cement is a powerful reminder that everyone should follow the rules and treat others with respect. Karma's faithful whip. It's often the case that those who rally the hardest against a certain cause end up being secret perpetrators of that very thing themselves. But rarely is the punishment for this type of hypocrisy as perfect as the case of an Indonesian man named Muklis in October 2019. Muklis was part of a council that drafted laws into existence in the Aceh region of Sumatra Island, whereby anyone guilty of adultery would receive a painful, humiliating public whipping. Not long after Muklis assisted in the law's passing was he caught, quite literally, with his pants down with a married woman. The adulterous pair were brought in front of a crowd and caned 51 times between them. While the law is certainly barbaric, the lesson rings true. Practice what you preach, especially if you're practicing on another man's wife. Heist of the Century. In 2017, an Irish man visited his father's grave at a cemetery and stumbled upon a bizarre scene. He discovered a fake brick-cladded building with a heavy door that had been hacked into overnight. It turned out that someone had mistaken the building for a crypt filled with family valuables and spent considerable time trying to break in. They'd first attempted to cut the locks, then tried to tear off the roof, and finally succeeded by cutting through the wall. Unfortunately for them, they didn't find priceless antique heirlooms, but instead, a toilet. Yes, they had broken into a cemetery bathroom. The lesson learned here is to stick to bank vaults next time. Karma will catch up with you. Sometimes those who accumulate bad karma are able to redeem themselves. That's exactly what happened in August 2019 when a self-proclaimed awful person, in the heat of out-of-character rebellion, stole a bottle of ketchup from a restaurant. No one was anywhere the wiser until the restaurant servers found a note left there a few weeks later. The note confessed to the heinous crime and detailed how, ever since the act was committed, the thief had been plagued with exceptional bad luck. Hours after stealing the ketchup, someone crashed into their car, and countless other disasters followed. So by providing the restaurant with a ketchup bottle, plus an extra one for good measure, they hoped they'd be able to rebalance the karmic scales. It worked. The note was shared online and went viral. Within a few days, Heinz's official Twitter account had caught wind of the story and launched a search for the ketchup thief. But once they found them, they not only publicly forgave them, they also helped pay for the repairs to the good-natured thief's car. Now that's the kind of good PR I can get behind, and all in the name of ketchupy karma. Drop like a brick. Sometimes, karma serves as the ultimate deterrent. In the upcoming video, a thief ignores clear cosmic signs against wrongdoing and may just be setting himself up for further karmic retribution. In Durham, England, a young man attempts to break into a car by smashing its window with a brick. Ironically, he inverts the saying banging your head against a brick wall by literally bringing the brick to his own face. The brick rebounds off the car window and strikes him squarely in the face. Wincing in pain, he quickly grasps the message from karma and shuffles away, presumably to reconsider his poor life choices. Easy as it gets. Police work isn't easy, but it can be when the criminals do the officers' work for them. In what's essentially the opposite of a high-speed pursuit, this footage captured by Ohio officers in July 2019 sees a drunk driver veering on the road. Thankfully, he's not a threat for very long and parks himself right in front of the police by slowly crashing into their bonnet. He takes a moment to realize what's going on. But when he does, his earphones are pulled out and a feeble escape is attempted. I think that's what it is. It could well be a dance move. Either way, he was charged with a DUI, and the police were grateful that he inadvertently made their evening much easier. Stop right there. In 2012, a young man named Taylor Abe Myers from Norwalk, Connecticut had a habit of stealing stop signs while driving around at night. He had collected several stop signs in the back of his pickup truck. However, he ignored many other stop signs on the road and drove straight through them without any regard for their purpose. Unfortunately, his disregard for stop signs led to a fatal accident. Myers drove straight past a crucial stop sign and collided with an oncoming truck. He was not able to stop in time, and the truck hit him from the side. Myers was killed on impact because he wasn't wearing his seatbelt. It is ironic that he lived by the stop sign and died by the stop sign. Karma can sometimes be cruel when it delivers its darkly suitable punishments. The world's toughest snowman. Some people are jerks out of anger or vengeance, but some are just jerks for the sake of it. Like people who smash up strangers' jack-o'-lanterns or destroy innocent snowmen. But in Kentucky, in January of 2019, one such snowman fought back. After a homeowner returned to his house to see tire marks parting the snow in his front yard, it didn't take him long to work out what had occurred in his absence. A car had purposefully driven into his yard and attempted to knock down the 9-foot-tall snowman he constructed earlier that day. But what the driver didn't realize until it was too late was that the homeowner had used a thick tree stump as the base of the snowman. The driver had likely crashed straight into the trunk, doing more damage to their vehicle than to the snowman. The snow giant, on the other hand, stood strong and proud as the car drove away broken and embarrassed. Heart's not in it. In January 2019, a pastor in Guarulhos, Brazil, was parked on a residential street when a group of criminals surrounded his car and attempted to rob him. However, one of the robbers collapsed after prying open the driver's side door, much to the confusion of his co-conspirators, who soon fled the scene. It turned out that the collapsed thief had a heart attack while attempting to rob the pastor and had died almost immediately. The pastor managed to escape unharmed with his car. The incident undoubtedly reaffirmed his beliefs for life. If you enjoyed this story, let me know in the comments section below which style of karma gone right you found most interesting. Also, share your own karma tales, and I might feature them in a future video. Thanks for watching.